Hey, everybody. Welcome to the NSFW Mental Health Podcast. My name's Chris Paugh.
I am John Armstrong.
Phony
gang signs.
I did want to talk. The one thing I had, you was asking me before the show, and I couldn't remember anything. But who is this podcast for? And I'll tell you who it's not for.
The lovers.
Anybody that comments on a video with just the word simp, bro.
You know what? Full circle though, it kind of is for them. We just have to kind of, teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down.
No, I don't.
You have to remember these people lack self-awareness, so we can Trojan horse our views into them fairly easily.
I'm not trying. I don't.
A little woke here. A little sheep
I hate
here.
the online. Like we've talked a lot on the other podcast a lot about the manosphere and shit. So it's not, if you're red pilled, go listen to Andrew Tate.
But it's gotten so nuanced now. I mean, purple pill, and don't talk to them black pill motherfuckers. They are nihilists to the
I haven't kept track that.
Dude,
far.
black pill is like they want to burn it all down. You know what I mean? They're essentially the libertarians of sex. All the benefits and none of the sacrifice.
Like if you think in terms of sigma, alpha, and beta, like get the fuck out of here.
Which again, America, if you follow this, the guy who did that study found out it was a flawed study because he was tracking wolves that were in not in the wild. They were in what do you call it? Confines or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole thing he did was just based on wolves who were not even in the wild. That's not how they act. That's just how they act when you lock them up. Which is basically how people act in prison. It becomes a structural hierarchy. So he documented capitalism and wolves. Yeah, he's like, when being forced into structural fake hierarchies, people will act accordingly. But when in the wild, the wolves, it was literally just the eldest and the most capable took care of everybody else. It was a more communal thing. And then people were like, I don't like that. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's the socialism.
The weakest thing.
That's the socialism version. The capitalism version is where they're all in prison.
Yeah.
But here's the other part of this. We're people.
We are people.
we're not wolves. So regardless of the outcome of that,
you share half your DNA with a sunflower, man. We're all the same. We're all the same, bro. Dude, how's your week, man?
It's good. I didn't do much. I worked a lot.
And when you say work, you don't mean comedy work. You mean like let the bodies hit the floor work?
Yeah. I was busy at my day job a lot this week.
If you see Chris, it's a bad day.
Unless you're at roast battle, which is what we did tonight.
And you said that went well.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is nighttime, America, as we're recording this. This is Friday, July 10th.
Yeah.
Chris is coming off a roast battle. We got Sheer as producer off camera. He was there as well, and I'm coming off of a host at Hilarities, and I headlined there yesterday, which was pretty cool. So we all have been kind of getting our comedic elbows dirty this week.
A busy week.
Yeah, which is dope, man.
I got a bunch of new like mental health material that I've been working on.
Nice.
And it's so rough around the edges. I bummed half the people out. The comics were laughing, but
oh yeah, because, don't play to the back of the room. When you get the comics laughing, yeah. When you get the comics laughing, it's kind of like making like a girl with borderline personality disorder squirt. It's like it's a skill, but you don't want to use it. You're using it on the wrong person because
a lot of comics and like comedy nerds they'll give you a laugh at the attempt.
Yes. Well, and we know how the sausage is made. So just when you're even going out there on a limb, it's like, oh shit, he's doing it.
Yeah.
So I had that too. Like yesterday, I mean, I have time, but you know how it is as a comic. You don't want to do your old jokes. And then I've been working on the newer stuff. And so my last 2025 was new riffing. Not riffing. I mean, I had an outline, but I didn't have clear punchlines for a lot of it. So it was a lot of that. So I know how that is, the attempt without the net. But it still ended up working out because slow down, be paced,
Yeah.
be measured. And at the end of the day, even I found, even if you don't have a necessarily a punchline, there's a rhythm to this. So if you know when to bring it up and then when to bring it down and to slow down. And I even got into something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, speaking of mental health. My dad passed a couple years ago, and so I closed on a fucking dead dad joke. Take that. Take that, America. Not going to get into it because I want to keep pulling at it. It's not deep at all, but it's still, it's,
the stuff I'm doing now, like realm that I'm working on right now, is like more. I've never like done a lot of personal shit. It's mostly like outward to other stuff that I'm making fun of. But because I've been going to therapy now, it's like what I am gonna talk about.
Well, it's your world. I mean, not to bring him into it, but the first time I heard that was of all people, Louis C.K. He said that. He said you get funny and you're observing the world, so a lot of it is your observations and projecting. But then after a while, then you have to turn the mirror around, and then it's like, okay, well, what is this?
Yeah.
And that is
well, it's life that forces you to do it too.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, it does, but you know what I mean. Everybody doesn't have the, I don't know if the word foresight or the whatever to go into that. Some people just still play around. I love Mark Maron. I haven't loved a lot of his shit lately, but Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest, but somebody pointed out that he rarely talks about himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's yet to kind of turn that mirror around. You'll get certain anecdotal things, but even the stories are just so sensational that he's not,
Yeah. George Carlin had kind of the opposite thing. There was a point in like the early 90s where he's like, I don't care anymore. I'm.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
I don't give a.
I'm just here to watch the.
Just to watch it. Yeah. The world burn, and that's what everything he did from then on was kind of like, fuck these people.
Dude, Carlin has been in my top 4 forever. Before it was cool to do that because people used to look at me and didn't know what I was talking about. His shit is dope. Not just because of the social commentary, but again, he just knew how to weave it. He would go off on a rant and just go in, and I love language too. And he talked about that. Like, he was a big lover of language, and he says mom was a big linguist, and he got that from her. And so he really knew he wouldn't miss a step in his words, and he would keep going, but then he would pivot on a dime and just do a stupid fucking fart joke. Yeah. So he was the levity was always there, and he knew when it was getting pretentious. And I mean, hammer to a nail as a black guy, as a black comic. There's only a handful of white comics that I've heard who talk with a certain amount of candidness about race in this country and whiteness. I don't even think Tarantino is not necessarily not a racist. He could be, you know what I mean? Most people are. I'm not saying that to shit on him, but I'm saying like his movies, when I first saw like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, like all them M-bombs, I didn't appreciate hearing them and it was uncomfortable. But this is one of the first times I saw a white person write dialogue how people talk. And not even in these are evil white people and they're trying to be this. It's just a free flowing conversation of how people talk. And when I heard Bill Burr, it was like that. And when I heard Carlin, it was like that. It's a handful of white men who are like, this is how Americans talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, not even in a finger pointing way, but this is how we talk. And even if you want to take the context of race out of it, how we talk about women, how we're just flippant about, what we ate today, and just But there's just a handful of people who really have their finger on the pulse of this is how we engage.
Colin Quinn did a whole special about like the different ethnicities and neighborhoods in New York and shit like that, and like the whole historic context. But
one of the good ones,
how they all talked shit about each other. And it was just.
I recently saw somebody talking about that. I don't know how true it is because I haven't been there, but I can imagine. But they were like, New York's one of the few places in America where different sects of white people don't identify as white first. I think we talked about this, like Italians in like Jersey and New York, they're Italians. Irish people identify as it's Irish. Jewish people identify. They lead with that. They are white. I mean, you know what I mean, and they will default to that because, of course, whiteness is America. But that's one of the places where they literally still dig into their European ethnicity, and it's just not this homogenized. Like, hey, I'm just at the front of the line, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The further you get into the country. The more they're just like, they might be Hungarian, but they're white first.
Yes. Not realizing the history of the different sects that subjugated them and didn't look at them as white until it was convenient to get them in the fold and get the numbers up.
I'm a bummer first. That's what I identify as.
What am I? I don't have a. That's a problem with slavery. I know where I'm from, but I don't know where I'm from. I don't know my name, so I'm just a person in America trying to make it, I guess. Yeah. Black first. Yeah. I don't know, man. The mental health aspect of this has been such a roller coaster, like doing this, like because we're kind of going through our shit in real time.
Yeah.
So every time like we're new on camera, like America, I was talking to Chris, I was like, so how's the week going? And you look good, man. Like, so I could tell, like, even before you said anything, like, you're more above than below.
I'm good.
At least presenting. You know what I mean? We did get really good at masking. That's another word I just learned. As a neurospicy person.
No, the therapy stuff is weird right now because it's like a lot of childhood shit. And I won't go into detail.
That's so hard.
But they have a questionnaire that's like 12 questions long. And it's like the childhood adversity worksheet thing.
Send me that.
And it's taken
I want to cry too.
It's taken 3 weeks to get through all the questions.
Man.
To like, because I answer them yes or no, and then you go over them with a therapist and you describe each situation and stuff. So the last 2 or 3 weeks have been that. And it's like
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, and then you do that for an hour and then you get to think about it all week.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Because the again, like we've revisited this time again, but like even when it's not direct, just some of the things I've dealt with this year that it wasn't directly dealing with things of my past, but you get such in a vulnerable state that all of those feelings start bubbling up.
Yeah.
And when inadequacy and abandonment and all that start knocking at the door, you're like, I told you I don't live here anymore. Like,
no, yeah. They're back.
I know you don't feel like you're enough. You are. Oh.
Yeah,
How is that a thing, dude?
It's
inadequacy
because it's all happening when your brain is it's dude,
yesterday
it's your first impression of the world.
Yesterday I went for like a long walk because I was getting ready because I had a show because we're comedians. I had a show, so I was trying to work on some stuff, so I wanted to be isolated and like say some shit out loud. And I was like, I'll go on this long walk and then I'll kind of run through certain parts of my set. But I didn't even do that. I just got my earphones on, and at the whole time I'm listening to music I ain't heard in a while, and I keep saying I'm gonna turn this off, but like the catharsis came through even doing that because again, I just got into this kind of mentally naked state of like bleeding out a lot of these like feelings, and like it was wild, dude. It was
uh
fucking wild. And then, but then there's another part of it because it's a dude, this mental health podcast. As people know, I am a huge rap fan, and I am a Kendrick Lamar stan. And his album, Mr. Morale and the Big Stuffers, was literally a double album about mental health. So if you ever, and he's really good storyteller. And he's just, even if you don't like him an acoustic way, just the way he puts things together with words is really profound. And he's got so many songs on there that's just about the shadow, and he does the Eckhart Tolle thing. He's on there, but it really breaks shit down to like why are you doing what you're doing, how to get through it, how to forgive yourself, the process of how it just takes forever. And dude, the amount of when I've listened to that shit, and especially like yesterday, not especially, but including yesterday when I was on my walk, and how like certain parts of that, and you just start purging. Like, it's fucking. And then cars are coming. Okay. But yeah, and again, like I'm not saying all this to say that we want to be in this constant state. I'm not some like sensitive dude where fucking a commercial comes on and then yeah, John's Waterworks again. It's not so much that. It's more a testament to just the dam that was up for so fucking long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take the pressure out of some of that, and then after a
Yeah,
while,
it really is
you don't have this wall of water anymore. It's still there, but it's not. Yeah.
You kind of plaster over it for a long time, but the foundation is still all fucked up.
Yeah. But I don't know. It feels good to be putting one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a there. I don't feel like one day is better than the other, and this day just happened to be one of the good days. But it feels good to be going that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like even if you're going super slow, I'm closer to here than I am to there yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also one of those things, once you're so far in, it's faster to get out, to go forward.
It's like when you quit smoking cigarettes or take a break off weed, alcohol, or something. Once you're so many days in, it's like, well, I want to keep walking.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of the little bit of progress I have. I want to keep going this way.
Yeah.
Like
even like working out or something. Once you're doing it 3 times a week or whatever,
once you're in it, it's like, well, let's keep.
You feel like an asshole when you don't do it.
Dude. It's like we're already here. Yeah, I don't know. It's been nice, man. And of course, Chico, we're super lucky that we're in the summertime now. Because another thing that's been helping, like, it really helps to go on a walk in Cleveland when it's 80 degrees and the sky is blue and it's sunny. Because most of the time the sky is gray and it's cold and shitty here. So that really helps with the added vitamin D and all those happy, nice chemicals going through your head. So
yeah,
sun, moon, and stars are fucking lining up for us, Chris. Look at us. Look at us being happy, kinda waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, what's next?
Oh my god.
No, I had a good tonight. I had a good time at Roast Battle and kind of was like, oh yeah, this is.
I do this.
Yeah. We started it like 10 years ago, and it's this whole thing now,
dude.
And yeah, I was awesome, like, this feels good.
Yeah, man.
So
that was one of those things like we were talking about on some of the last couple ones. It was mental health, but in regard to us for relationships, and one of the things I keep seeing is they talk about, to cultivate a good relationship. Again, this is more heteronormative coming from a male's point of view, but having your purpose, having something to do. You can pour into another individual as much as you want, but a lot of what gives them attraction to you is you pouring into yourself. So the fact that this roast battle is bearing so much fruit now, and all the shit that we've been doing comedically is starting to give us more and more
it's
things. It's not just a thing that help us through our life, but even once you get into those social circles and whatever new relationships we get into, it'll lend to that because you have a life and a foundation and a root structure to come from.
It's the maintenance thing, like, because you have to remember to appreciate that stuff too.
Gotta water those plants.
Because I've spent years doing like really cool shows and shit, and just being like, it's just the for this, it was just that, like, downplaying everything I've done that made me feel good.
Yeah, you do have to water the garden. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good feeling, like you're at least on a path, you know.
Yeah.
And again, it's an any given day thing. You never know, American. Next week we could be here in the dumps. Fucking bitch.
I have a feeling when you got here earlier, you seemed like in a pretty good mood, and I was spacing out a lot, and I was like, we're gonna flip every week.
Our polarity, yeah. There's the word I've been using, yeah. Like, who's gonna be the depressed one? Who's gonna be the? I don't know. We had some good shows, and I was talking to a friend before I got here too, so I ended on a good note, and also, like, man, I mean, I was kind of joking about this on stage yesterday, like, when you get to that cry that, like, no more, I'm kind of mentally at a dry heave now. You know what I mean? Like, when you can't throw, there's no more bile, there's no more all the beer and tequila and bile is going. It's just that I am mentally there now. So now it's like, okay, nothing's coming out. So can we calm the spasms down? Right. You know what I mean? Because it's like at a certain time you're just retching and nothing's going on. Yeah.
I got all my routine. I'm on a good, path. I've been really good this week. I've just been spacey a lot.
Yeah. What's over your young ones, man? I mean, you don't have to go into detail, but I know you say you were doing empty nester shit. But
yeah, they're good. They're nice. They're helping each other, leaving me out of it more. It's been nice this week.
Thank you, question mark. Yeah, my girls are like they're teenagers, so I want to see them, but they're like, yeah, we'll pencil you in.
Yeah, no, when
they're like, it feels good, but you're just like, all right.
Yeah, they do those years, and then in their like early 20s, they're like, all right, so what's going on? What do I got to do now?
Yeah, I'm just lucky I'm somewhere in the periphery of their lives. And again, I said this before, them just even big up in me on Father's Day was like, oh, God.
Yeah, kids say the damnedest things.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of points of contention with me and their other parental unit for some years. So and which we're getting along now too, which is
the thing with that is if you're just the consistent person, you don't need to talk shit about anybody. You just do your consistent thing.
You know what I used to call that? I used to call that the Martin Luther King. Like all those like old videos that they show of the civil rights movement. Like one of the reasons that worked is because that was racism has always been around for this country, but that that was some of the first film and TV that was like really just going out. This is the 50s and 60s. This is like the birth of TV. So I mean, you can normalize all the shit that was here, but the Martin Luther King effect that helped was just a bunch of people not doing anything while the other side was complete assholes. After a while, everyone was like, even if you're a racist, they're like, oh, they're not even doing anything. It's kind of what's happening with like the Israel-Palestine now thing now with all the kids being bombed and shit, and they're like, even if you don't like them, this is kind of egregious. So like, okay, we're being a little heavy-handed here. So I don't know.
Quit kicking him. He's already down.
Dude, yeah, the fuck with the Simpsons. He's already dead. So there becomes a point in a lot of life and a lot of just interaction with people to where it's just like, if you can be the calm, steady ship, then everything.
Yeah, well, that's where things go wrong is when you're not.
Yeah. Emotions, they can get there.
And the only way back from it is to just get back from it.
But even like some of this shit starts to like fester and grow, because I was talking about this with somebody from a relationship of my past that I will not name. But it doesn't even have to be from a outward state of contempt or resentment. It's just these little fibers that just keep getting pulled, and these little just unresolved pieces of not being seen, and before long, like, you're passively aggressively digging in at each other. You're not coming at each other direct, but there's still a conflict.
Just your internal.
Yes.
Your internal parts. Do you I read you should that you should name like your shadow.
I've seen that.
You gotta give it a name.
I've seen that. I've been trying to do the shadow thing, but I also, because I'm like just fucked regardless, is saw something about the sexual shadow. If anything's getting a name, it's my sexual shadow. That dude's getting a name before anybody else, because
like a porn name.
No, well, I mean, I guess it would be, but it'd be an awkward porn name. But like the amount of just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I mean, in the grand scheme of human psychosis and sexuality, I'm not like fucked up like that. But still, just some of my shit with women, and just my lustfulness, and even finding out recently, I just realized, because I would always, because I have a high sex drive. I've always had a high sex drive, and every women I've been with have always noticed that. But I just started to realize that yes, that is sex, but some of that is, again, it's just an addiction thing. It's like filling a void, and you're just doing it in a sexual way. I didn't realize that. That's one of the reasons why the quitting porn thing has really helped me. Still no porn. Still organically jerking off, which today was the first time to struggle. I literally had to be like, okay, dude, come on, get up. Get up. Like all the other, I've been doing this so much. I've been doing like all these pelvic floor and Kegel exercises that my dick's like in good shape. But today it was just like, oh God, it was bad. But I don't know. Overall, fixing my dopamine little by little.
These are I got Lexapro from so it's more of a chore these days, but not entirely.
Yeah, Lexapro kills your shit, right?
It tries to.
Your dick's like a zombie. Just think you get shot.
Zombie dick.
Crawling at you with his chin. It's no arms or legs, but it's still got a purpose.
It's Mike Myers.
So do you jerk off?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
No, I'm just asking. I'm like, cause you said it does dull you. So
even though,
is it to the point to where like you're not thinking about it, so it's not even a thing, or is it still like? Because I know, like as a guy, half of it's just robotic.
It's like mostly normal. It just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah. Hey, man. I'm like, well, that's the other thing. I was watching this thing. It was talking about mindful masturbation and all this other shit. It's one of the reasons I stopped doing porn, because like it affects you when you are intimate with a partner, because you jack off more than anything. So you essentially train your dick to come a certain way from a certain thing, and you don't realize how much of a certain grip you're giving your dick, and you're like, no amount of mouth, pussy, or asshole is ever gonna feel like that. And then so You gotta train it.
Yeah,
I'm proud.
I think
This is the longest I've went without watching porn, probably since the DVD days.
You would find a bunch of Playboys hidden in a tree trunk in the woods.
Not that, but my uncle, he had them in the tile in the basement, and those were the first like dirty magazines dude. People don't realize the amount of like, I don't want to say skill because that's a little overplaying it, but like of trying to place a magazine so the page doesn't flop while you're jerking off. Such a simple thing, but it would just always the page would either collapse or it would fall.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to hear it fall because yeah, you think they're gonna recognize. You can't be
a super asshole and crease the fuck out of it because it's like, well, way to fucking centerfold the third page, motherfucker. Yeah, my uncle used to have them in the ceiling. And yeah, Playboy, you just got a little slit of the camel toe and you got the titty. It was Hustler that they were like.
Oh yeah.
Was like,
yeah, they were like the more trashy ones.
Yeah.
I worked at a convenience store when I was like 18, and the way you would return the magazines to the vendors that didn't sell was you just took the cover off and sent those back, so you could keep like the entire inside of the magazines and stuff.
So you had a spank.
I had a milk crate full of those magazines, and then also I had like a bunch of Wizard World and like nerd shit.
Dude, man, I remember the first porn I saw. It was at my friend's house, and it was his dad's porn, of course, VHS, and I don't remember how old we were, but we were young, like 10, 11, maybe ish, give or take. But I just remember we were so young, I didn't know the mechanics of sex. So like, I mean, I see the dudes with the hard on, I get that, and then they're fucking and stuff. But I don't even know what sexual arousal is. So the fact that these people are doing this and making this noise, it's still kind of like. It's like watching people fight and hearing them grunt, but you don't know what pain is.
Yeah,
you're like, what's all this noise?
Yeah, what's happening here?
And then I still remember. I'll never forget when the guy went to come and he ejaculated me, nuts or whatever you want to call it. And again, I don't know how old we are. I just knew we were so young that my friend was like, "Oh man, that must hurt," because we thought it was pus because it was white. And he's like, "Oh!" So I'm like, this poor guy, he's in a lot of pain. He's really emoting right now. Oh my God. So yeah, it took me a minute to even. So yeah, my first dose of sexuality was just through a skewed, shitty lens of confusion and mixed emotions.
I was had everything explained to me at the 4th grade lunch table.
4th grade. What is
by
that?
the
10?
other kids? Yeah, 9 or 10.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
No,
This is before 2 girls.
This is a whole other therapy appointment.
Have you unpacked? Was this in the pile of shit you had to tell them, or is this?
No, we haven't even.
Oh my God.
Got to sex stuff yet. Yeah, I don't know if I should just be like, do you want to hear about this, or if they're gonna ask yet. I don't know.
Well, I told you like when I first signed up for therapy, I was so happy because I was thinking of it as this transactional thing. Like I didn't think of it as anything that I had to actively participate in. I was just like,
yeah,
I'm going to give this person money, and I'm finally going to get. It's like getting your muffler changed. Like I'm not doing this, but I'm giving them money. The car is going back here, and when the car comes back, it's going to be quieter. That's how I thought like my anxiety in my brain would be. And then like as it got closer and closer, and then like, how like even certain stuff. Since you don't talk about it, you recognize it in other people. But since you've literally never talked to it to anybody else, you don't identify it with yourself.
Yeah.
And then the closer it got, I was just like, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not telling nobody that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's why this is like my third or fourth time going.
And I still haven't. I'm like, dude, I can't. Ain't it weird when you know the person? And
the therapist?
No.
Oh.
We'll edit that in post. Anyway. So yeah, I ain't
editing shit.
I ain't talking about that shit.
Yeah. Well, like, most people think it's like, oh, you're just gonna go in there and blame your parents for everything, but it's not really about blaming anyone. It's just it's facts that
It's like the guy who's accusing his wife of cheating. It's like, you're right, but it's not them. It's the other. It's the other one. It's somebody else behind them. You're hot, but not. It's not quite just that. It's somebody else who's adjacent to the people. They didn't help, but there's.
Oh yeah, well it's not just your parents. It's like the whole spectrum of who you're
the
growing
web
up
of
around.
People who you just grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I think that's the thing that fucks so many people up. And this is so many aspects of life. Nothing is a 1-to-1. Nothing is 100%. Nothing is this was the good guy. This was the bad guy. There's certain people who you wish you could talk to, but you didn't. There's certain people who might have a hint of what went on with you, but they didn't say anything, but maybe that wasn't their place. You know what I mean? There's so many people in these Venn diagrams of just pain that you can't 100% say that these people were 100% antagonistic towards my growth, and these people were 100% helping me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of gray
that's
areas.
where a lot of that unpacking comes from, because a lot of trauma is passive, man.
Yeah, you have to. I think a lot of it is just like when you're telling the therapist that you're just saying it out loud and explaining it to someone makes it smaller.
Yeah,
and you also
turns this mountain into little rocks that you can.
Yeah, and you have to go back and look at these people as people. Like, I'm older now than a lot of these people were when they were a nightmare in my life.
That whole thing of like, while your parents were raising you, they were raising themselves and still growing up. You know what I mean? And as we've talked about too, like us being younger parents, it was a lot of that with us too. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm to the point to where through the growth I'm trying to do, I mean, I'm not going to get too in depth just because it's my kiddies, but I haven't felt like I've done anything malicious towards them, but I do feel like I owe them something in stopping, these generational traumas that just keep going by.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't felt like I directly contributed, but to the point of what we were just saying, there are people in our orbit from our childhood who didn't directly contribute to things that happened, but as the observer who went through it, you could still be like, well, I feel shitty about certain parts to where you were at least a witness to this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is an indictment on, this is a generalization, so I'm not saying anything about my.
Yeah. The first, and I've heard people say like similar things, but there was a moment where the therapist just went, oh, that's interesting. That person sounds just like this person. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to think about that for a fucking week.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do they have that in common? Why am I holding this person more accountable than this person? Were they together in on this, or did I just so happen to fall in whatever?
Yeah. Whatever the variations are from there.
Of these two people's different, psychosis. Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's wild. And the other thing is just again, you become so aware of this stuff that you don't want to pathologize every single thought you have, you know? So at a certain point, it's like, yes, I feel this way, and yes, this is all that, but maybe I'm just having a day where I'm just feeling shitty, and maybe I shouldn't dissect every part of my childhood right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it just is what it is, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And today I just don't feel.
I mean, the hope is that at some point I can like stop thinking about being a person and just be a person.
Yeah.
Because that would be nice, but that's the maintenance thing. Like that's something that you always have to stay checked in with.
That's what the millionaires say, America. It's not making your million, it's keeping it. And it's the same with your mental health. It's not getting a clear head, it's keeping a clear head. One of the things that keep popping up, one of the guys I follow on YouTube, and this gets like into my sobriety and how I'm gonna have to address my weed and my drinking, is like just your ability to sit with yourself. Like that shit keeps ringing in my head, and I keep seeing that in different circles when it talks about dealing with a lot of this shit, because that's the thing. Like I said, like I have a high sex drive. Yeah, I do, but I'm distracting myself. It's still a dopamine chase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like saying I have a high lung drive because I want to fucking smoke weed all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, or maybe you're just chasing dopamine. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a common thing that I keep hearing in all these different circles, is just the ability to sit with yourself and to sit with the thoughts, because that's the other thing that doesn't help. We talk about this with the phone and the algorithm and all that. Even when I'm being good and I'm being like sober and I'm not limerence with women or sex and all this shit, you still have your phone to anesthetize you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You're
just
still
the ability to sit with yourself, to sit with your thoughts. And the thing that I keep hearing, the common denominator is like, there's no magic pill. But this one guy was describing it as like, waves hitting the rocks and waves hitting the shore. You know what I mean? The waves are going to be there, but you got to feel them. The rocks got to feel the waves hitting, and then eventually the waves get softer and softer. You know what I mean? But you have to go through it. You know what I mean? So that's one of my next steps now, is just sitting with.
Yeah,
myself.
it's all it's the thing we said last week. Like it's every diet is some kind of calorie deficit. Every therapy is dealing with your darkest thoughts and
some
shit.
Accountability, and looking at the shadow, looking at your motivations, looking at like, why are you doing what you're doing? Because that's the other thing. It's like, it's not even bad when you look at it as your brain is doing the path of least resistance, seeking goodness.
It's really good at it too.
Really good.
It can
really
go
good.
decades.
Really good
on a roll.
And that is the thing that just becomes a problem, is that your brain just gets really good at like, we don't have to feel like that.
Yeah.
We don't have to feel those bad feelings.
So what if
we just got off work?
Yeah.
Just smoke. You'll sleep better. Your food will taste better.
We'll just get through the winter.
Yeah.
And then we'll get through spring, and then in the summer we're gonna not do any of this. And then
30 winters later, and then you break up with somebody, and then like you're in a corner, balled up, fucking crying.
Or you wake up alone.
Yeah.
Or your kids move out and you're suddenly like, oh wait, what was I doing?
This is the last I'll do, but like is when you ask your kid what's going on and they say nothing, and it's the same nothing you gave people when it was something.
Yeah.
That hurt, dude.
Yeah,
and
I got one that never says nothing though.
I didn't push beyond that, but it was like, what's wrong? Nothing. I was like, fuck, there's a big something in there.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to pathologize everything because that's teenage life, you know. It doesn't mean that my kids are going through some big traumatic thing. Some of that is my own ego of just wanting to
I think
make everything right.
The biggest thing is to like communicate with them as you're growing. Like they can still absorb that, and you know.
Yeah. And at least know it's there, because I've had that too with my parents, with my mom, you know. Like, hey, you all right, John? And I'm like, I'm not talking about this shit to you.
Yeah.
But it still felt good to have somebody kind of tug at you. You know what I mean? So every little bit helps.
Must be nice.
Every little bit. Listen, white man from the South, you will not shame me for having somewhat of a rapport with my single welfare black mom. Hammer to a nail. I'll do it every time. God damn it. I'll do it every time.
Did you we had did you have like the food stamps?
Oh yeah.
As a kid? Yeah. Did you ever
to the point to where when my mother graduated from college and like when we moved and we went to the suburbs, she kept them. I think she still has some. she seriously did it like just to remember like where we came from. I remember I used to tell people, man, do you ever go through the you know, in the store to buy shit for people and then your friends come in, then you pretend you don't want to buy anything because you don't want to be and it took for me to get grown to realize we were all on welfare. This was a joke I was doing for 5 minutes, but it never worked because I'm always doing these jokes in front of paid audiences who obviously went to suburban schools. But like, I didn't know that lunch you had to pay for it because everybody got free lunch because we were all on public assistance, and it was always only 1 or 2 people in class who had to pay for lunch, and I just thought it was because they were rich. You know what I mean? Because they looked, you know, they dressed better, they looked the part. And in a few of my classes, it was always these Jehovah's Witnesses. So I thought it was that too, just, you know, like
we had
that's just what they do, you know what I mean? But yeah, we were all poor, but you just like trauma, you feel like you're the only one going through it. You know what I mean?
At my high school, we had our student IDs, and they punched a hole on it for the poor kids. And we would
same.
There were 2 lunch lines, so we would go through. My one fat friend and I would go through each lunch line and get 2 lunches.
The fact that the way they shame kids like that and fucking student lunch, that is fucking gross.
Oh yeah, they would say it right in front.
The fact that, because you still have that now. Like I forget who it was, but like certain celebrities, like they paid off all the student lunch debt, and you know Minneapolis schools. The fact that we have that's gross.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
That's gross. And especially don't do the juxtaposition when you show like France or Japan where like, you know, they've got culinary experts and everything's organic, they're putting it together, and then all the kids clean the cafeteria because they have a shared feeling of cooperation, and it's
we had the real like the stamps, and you would get change back if you spent less than $1. So we would go to the store and buy like a piece of candy, and then my mom would take all the change to get smokes. I also remember you could buy like Fleer like baseball, and they would have like movie cards too, like the Batman movie in '89.
Yeah.
They would come with a stick of gum, and you could buy them with food stamps back then.
Well, they're trying to change it now to where, like, they've been saying this forever, but, you know, the infamous werewolfer mom with her crab legs. They're trying to say, like, certain things you can't buy with your EBT now.
Oh, yeah, they hate it. It makes them so angry.
Yeah, which it's like, so what? So what? And on top of that, you know, just because of social norms, like all of this bottom feeding shellfish was considered peasant food at the turn of the last century anyway. So this is all just aesthetics of what people prescribe to be either, you know, highfalutin or just peasant food. It's just another way of policing people. That's
crab legs. I can't afford crab legs, and I work 4 jobs.
Yeah.
It must be the person's fault on welfare,
right?
not
the fact that you can't eat a fucking
4 businesses that are fucking me in the ass
that lives in the water says more about your shitty society than it does about your money, because these things were in abundance before we overfished the fuck out of everything. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there was the schools I went to and being on welfare, like it was a thing. Like they made it really obvious at your free lunchtime, and there were a bunch of different things they would do that would like make it obvious that you were getting something. Make it obvious you were getting something discounted because your family sucks.
And that's the way those type of people always word that type of shit. I forget who it was who came up with it. I think it was not Ken Starr, but like maybe it was him. That was like early Monica Lewinsky prosecutor, but no, Karl Rove. He came up with the term entitlements when it comes to
he was really good at shit like that.
And they were so good at the wording and stuff like that because it's a psychological thing, and you're literally demonizing this thing and turning this thing that is
him and Cheney with the focus groups and stuff, and like they would test all the language and all that stuff.
Yeah. But that's how they get people to go in on a lot of this shit, and the manufacturer consent. And that's why when people do this whole like, man, Trump sucks, this makes me miss George Bush, it's like, well, no, they planted the seeds.
They were just better at being Trump than Trump is.
Yeah, it's like the shit you'll hear in black circles. They'll call it respectability politics, where they're like, if you Negroes just talked right and pulled your pants up, everything will be okay. It's like Karl Rove and George Bush and all them. That's the respectability politics of the right. When they weren't so overtly racist,
when they were selling compassionate conservatism,
but it's the same shit. You're just like better at putting lipstick on this pig. Yeah. That's why I always steer it off the rails of politics. I know this is mental health, but this country is driving my mental health crazy. But that's why like Trump is such an inevitability. Because I mean, how long can you be the nice guard at the prison camp? After a while, you're just going to see the shitty guard at the prison camp, and that's what Trump is. All these presidents have been just nice guards at the prison camp. That is capitalism and white supremacy in America. And then finally, it was just like, well, yeah, we're kind of raping and beating up the inmates.
I think they used
we wouldn't say that before.
They used to respect the veneer, and he removed that.
Yeah. And I think the funny thing about him, too, is he's such a narcissist and such a piece of shit. At least in my mind, it seems like that was part of the dig for him. It's like, because, that's the reason a lot of people in New York didn't like him. He wasn't one of the Manhattan elites. He was from Queens. You know what I mean? So they didn't look at him as being in the in crowd. So I think there's always been a bit of him that's like, you all are just like me. You just get to be more highfalutin.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why when he got in, he just waved his dick around so much. Because it was just like, all of you who are condemning me for this shit that I do, and I am not doing some Trump simping shit, because I'm not. But I do truly believe that he just got in and was like, it's like, I've seen all you on the plains. I've seen a lot of you on the islands. And even if you all aren't with the degeneracy sexually, I've seen you all benefit financially the low down ways that I know how to.
Yeah, I think it goes beyond that. And he has like all that information somewhere on all of them. And that's why they do whatever they're told.
Fascism.
Here, I'll tie it back to mental health and
when colonialism happens to white people. Sorry.
I'll tie it back to mental health and George Bush. My oldest kid was born a week after 9/11.
Jesus.
Having a kid that week. That was wild. I almost signed up.
The most depressing war.
I almost signed up, but I was too fat.
You told me you were drinking that Kool-Aid back then.
Yeah. I almost I went to sign up for the Army, but I was too fat, and they sent me home to lose 60 pounds, and I didn't do it for 20 years after that.
I'd rather drink mountain soda than kill Dune coons. We'll edit that in post.
I might have to. Nope. I might have to beep that.
Path of least resistance, man. I remember, did I tell you this? My parents tried to sign me up for the Navy, and this was the late 90s. And they had the recruiter come over, and I took the practice ASVAB test. And I still remember this because this is the 90s. So landline, fucking answer machine. A few days later, recruiter calls, and he's like, and then the phone rings, and then, of course, nobody picks up. I'm the only one home. I'm not picking this shit up. And then he goes into the answer machine. It's like, yeah, so John Armstrong, this ASVAB results came back. You did really, really good on your test. But I gotta say, we did a background check, and you've got some felonies on your record, and we're not able. This is before 9/11. Before 9/11, you couldn't have any felonies going into the military, and you couldn't have any tattoos. They changed all that after that, but that kept me out.
Those were from under 18.
Yeah.
They can't do your juvenile record anymore.
Yeah, they used to. I swear to God, this was on the answer machine. I'm not making this up, dude. This was like 96, 7, maybe 7, 8. Fuck.
1997.
I still have my hair, America. Fuck you. Yeah, but yeah. I almost got sucked into the imperial core of fighting wars for Fortune 100 companies.
Yeah. Am
I still on? Did I hit the button? Toast. Cool.
I'm glad I was too fat at the time.
I'm glad I was too angry and too black. Fist bump. Look at us. Oh, when your faults become virtues.
I was trying to sign up as I wanted to be in the band.
Fuck you piece of shit. What would you have done? Like
the drums.
Drum line.
The little drummer boy.
Yeah, fucking ass. Yeah.
I think at the time I firmly believed that they still had that on the battlefield.
Chris. Oh.
I was like, yeah, I'll go out in the desert and be on a drum.
I'm on the front lines, goddammit.
Yeah, you woke up the sleeping giant.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're just some dude outside of Shake Shack with your white bucket.
More people shooting at me.
Check out Rick Rubin over here. really pounding out the beats. Oh, my God. Yeah. How can I be part of this?
They get to play at the Army-Navy game.
Sure. How can I be a part of this without being a part of this?
Yeah. You got to be the cook or the drummer.
This might be a bit of a blank reference, but the movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker that Keenan Ivory Wayans did, it was all these guys, they were militant and they met up and they were like sizing each other up. And long story short, they found out that they all were pretty much like in the office during the war. It was like, yeah, I got this for typing. Like he had all these like different badges, but they were all office workers. None of them saw like frontline works. Like, so they were like super gung ho about being in the military and the armed forces, but none of them saw any real combat. Yeah,
I knew a guy that was in the Army, stationed in Korea when 9/11 happened. And he said he slept through the entire because they were all drunk the night before. But they went on high alert like everywhere in the world though. Wow. And he found out like 12 hours later.
Sure, what's that?
1 minute. So an hour.
Oh, wow. That was quick. Jesus Christ.
A quick hour. It's a good show, I think.
Man.
I think we gave it to him this week.
Yeah, well, we kind of came in hot with the, childhood shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. It's
we do here at the. Are we still NSF?
NSFW Mental Health Podcast, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, all jokes aside, like I've enjoyed doing this with you, Chris, and like this is a thing when you start doing comedy, it does kind of become a job, but this has been fruitful and I don't know. I mean, it feels like we're pushing the ball forward and not just us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think we're out here whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't look, we're not experts or anything, but we're
I think me and you found a commonality in being men who didn't want to keep doing certain things and wanted to move it forward and seeing how common that was in other people too.
Yeah.
Like we can't be the only ones who feel like this.
Yeah,
we can't be the only ones crawling out of our skin. Like how do we fix this shit?
Yeah, and I will say mostly comedians, but everyone I've talked to about a lot of this stuff has been like, oh yeah, no, I've done that. I get that. Like,
and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from especially the clips. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you. Thank you. More people are starting to see it, and yeah, people get it. Because again, I mean, every time I veer this off into a political realm, I mean, this is kind of where we are. I mean, one can argue from my conspiracy theorist ladled brain that somebody purposely isolated a whole bunch of men so they would feel disaffected in a way so that they could be used for tools for what's going on now.
Steve Bannon, that's who did that. He used the World of Warcraft
flood the zone
to flood the zone and push out the red pill bullshit.
Yeah. So as I've said before, we ain't all got to get along, but don't be puppets to this shit, dude.
Yeah, well, that's why when we started, I said like it's not for people that go around calling somebody a sip, because it's not. That's stupid internet culture. Yeah, and that's what I don't. Well,
whenever you start hearing talking points, you already can be like, yeah.
If nothing else,
an agenda.
I think this is a genuine podcast. Yeah. And most of it is just like toxic people defending like these parts of being men that are like aggressive and just the crazy shit. And because they all think they have it figured out and
misplaced like just emotions and feelings too, because that's the other thing I've come to learn. I think people get so much in the zeros and ones that were, well, if I don't have this aggression, I'm gonna have to be some beta bitch who's a feminist. It's like, no, like still you can still breathe into your like like crunchy, your divine masculine or whatever. It's still a point to do that. It's still a point to be that. Your woman wants you to be that. Your dude wants you to be that. Whoever wants you to be in that, but you have to come through that in a real way so that they can express themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, outside
that's
of Reddit,
what true masculinity is.
Outside of like Reddit and like every social media app at this point, like most of what feminism is just like not being a piece of shit to people.
I think the problem too is the word feminism got bastardized the same way the word woke did.
Well, maybe not a
1-to-1, but it's a thing to where when I initially hear it, I think more about who's saying it than the actual word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I don't want to. It's not the model I live on. It just, if some of what we talk about crosses over with that, that's just because it's real, like in therapeutic and like psychology.
So much man shit is supposed to be like for your mental health, because and we've talked about this, being on this mental health journey, and you have to have such a filter, because you'll be listening to somebody who you really enjoy, but they'll be like, these feminists and these liberals and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, here we go. And just the intersectionality of that. My whole thing, when I hear like feminists, I don't go into a certain amount of tropes. I just think women couldn't have no fault divorce. Women couldn't have their own bank account until the 70s. Women didn't have body autonomy. So I just think about that. I don't think about whatever blue-haired bitch who pissed you off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think about like these like
JD Vance's sleep paralysis demon.
All these culture wedge fucking. I just think about like, yeah, it would suck if I couldn't even get a fucking bank account.
Yeah.
It would suck if the word rape didn't exist for my husband because he's my husband. It's like I remember my mother telling me that when I was young. It's like, there's a reason that these families were so big back in the day, John, because like you couldn't say no to your husband. Rape didn't exist.
Well, there's also a like the white nationalist Christian thing is like big on giving a lot of birth.
Yeah,
because they're building an army for Jesus.
Wait, that can't be true, because Elon Musk is down for that. Not the Roman salute guy. Okay, so
next week's podcast.
I got Crowbar coming up next week for Third Thursdays. I'm sure we'll have some clips for that coming out. You got your headliner coming up next Saturday,
July 18th at Spotlight. Come out. I'm working on an hour to record later this year. So come to that. Come to both of those, and then you can see how much the material changed in 3 months, and that will be fun if you're a comedy nerd, I think. I hope.
Appreciate everybody who's growing with this. Appreciate you, Chris, Jeremy, for like really putting in the work for this. We getting clips out. And like I said, even though it's I
did. I also got good feedback from a few people this week.
Yeah. Like people really been like, and I'll talk to you off camera. A few people who are like, everybody wants to be like a little guest on here. They're like, let me be on your podcast. So we hear you, people.
Oh yeah, we'll figure out a guest thing once in a while.
Yeah. So yeah, John Armstrong comedy.
We'll see what everybody else's problem is.
Why the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, Chris Paugh, and follow the Roast Battle Instagram, RBL Cleveland. I run that. Those are good folks that help run that, and yeah, go check that stuff out too.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you next week.
Next Tuesday.